Hey everyone, so Ryan here with Hikes for David. This week has been an iffy week with the weather. I've actually got a brief spot of sunlight today. This is Sunday, end of April, right before May 1st. I have not been able to get out there hiking. The weather just has not cooperated. There's been rain all week. I was really hoping to get a good long hike in, but I couldn't do it. But that's okay, because this is a good time, I think, to talk a little bit about something that people frequently look for online, look for information online, which is about preparing for going hiking as far as what you wear. Something that I just have, it's kind of second nature to figure out what to bring with me, what to wear, depending on the weather, how cold it is. And always keep in mind, you have to think about how cold it is, or what the temperature is where you're going, which is like on the top of a mountain. The weather's not going to be the same as it is, especially if you're on going up a 3,000 or 4,000 footer. You want to be smart and look at what the weather is on the top of the mountain and prepare for that. I'm going to go through the major seasons. Very cold in the wintertime. This is, when I say cold, I mean Tennessee cold. This is not northern Maine cold. Totally different story. Where I grew up, if you're gonna hike in the wintertime there, you've got a lot more clothes you have to wear, long johns underneath your pants, just a lot of extra layers. It's pretty cold here in the wintertime. It does get down to the 20s, sometimes teens, but it's not so bad that it is difficult hiking. It's nice hiking here pretty much year round, here being Tennessee or North Carolina, South Carolina, the whole southeast US. I would say there's no reason why you can't go out hiking even in the wintertime. Please check out my wintertime hikes. You'll see what I mean. But let's get started on what you should wear when it's super cold, when it's, well, super cold for the south, which is, you need to think about layering. Whenever it's chilly on the top of a mountain, you know you're not going to want to wear all your layers at the bottom, because you're talking about sweating on the way up and then being cold and wet at the top, which is not fun. So you want to look at layering. Just put on layers as you go. So this is a combination of what you're going to wear, what you're going to put in your backpack to prepare for your hike. I'll kind of show you what the outfit looks like for that weather, but you have to pack additional because of the sweat, because of getting wet while you're walking. You want to have clothes you can change into, so you're going to double up on some of these layers, and I'll tell you which ones those are to layer up on. So wintertime, I'm going to start with footwear, because I really don't change my footwear that much based on the weather. I've got my beat up old oboes. I'm still going to buy oboes because I love the cushioning. I love how warm it is. They're getting really run down. Hopefully someday I can get oboes to sponsor me if I get a ton of viewers at some point, and maybe get one of these yearly. I have not found better hiking shoes, even though this does happen, but I beat up. I mean, I hike constantly, so it's not surprising. They're gonna get old, but look for waterproof. These are waterproof even though they're mesh. I like them because they're light, but they still protect my feet from water, and they have that padding, so year round. It's just thick enough that it keeps my feet warm. Socks you're gonna think about wearing. If it's really cold, I'll wear long hiking socks. These are Cumberland. Smart wool is really smart. They're thinner. They feel like regular socks, but they go higher. If it's not that cold, I might go with shorter hiking socks. These are Ascend brand. I love them because, again, they're like smart wool. They're very thin. These are Crew, so they only go up. They don't go up very high. Because sometimes, honestly, in the wintertime, I might wear pants, or if it's above 40, 50 degrees at the bottom of a mountain I'm climbing, I might even start off with shorts. But so I don't really want to have long socks on when I wear shorts. So usually I wear Crew socks. But if it's cold, you know you're going to be wearing pants the whole time, go ahead and get the long ones, the tube socks. Try to get hiking socks, not regular cotton socks, so you can avoid blisters. Smart wool is very good for avoiding blisters. Wintertime, I've got these are tech pants, which aren't specifically for hiking. You can get like Patagonia pants that are, who knows, $150 or whatever, and they have the zip off, so they can turn them into shorts. I don't want to spend that much money because I hike all the time and I need a lot of hiking clothes, so I look for brands that are cheaper but the same kind of material, and I've found that the new tech pants they sell. It's thinner material. This is Denali brand. It's just thinner material. It lets you air out and you don't get that annoying band of sweat down your backside from wearing a backpack and everything. If you get too hot and you wear thicker pants that are cotton and not this thin material, they'll just collect moisture from your backpack sweating, and it's gross, it's annoying. So look for thin pants, but these aren't so thin that they're not warm in the wintertime or when it's at least semi-cold. So I wear these. If it's really cold, I will get sweatpants. If you want to wear long johns, fine, but I don't really care about buying long johns because I wouldn't use them that much, because it's not that cold usually when I'm hiking around here. If it is, I will take sweatpants and I'll put them on and I will just shove these pants over. You can't even tell. It just looks like I have thick legs or whatever. Who cares when you're hiking? So I'll layer up like that. Sweatpants will hold in the warmth, and then these are like windbreakers anyway, so you won't get that chill from the wind. And then you have to think about a lot of layers. And again, I'll show you what that looks like when I have all of this on. But for now, let me just show you each layer. There's more layering with your upper body because that's really where more of your you're gonna lose body heat when you have sweat and moisture. So I always have a bottom layer of a very thin athletic type shirt. It might even be tight. I don't care because it's underneath all my clothes. It's against my skin. Moisture wicking is what you want to look for because it keeps the moisture away from your skin, at least for a while, until it just gets saturated. But it's really good for at least most of the time during your hike, keeping the sweat off of your skin so you're not losing so much of your body heat. That's the first layer. You want to look for that moisture wicking, really thin athletic shirt. If it's, again, really cold, I will wear a long sleeve cotton shirt. I know a lot of people are against cotton while hiking. I like cotton because it actually, for me, it holds in body heat better than polyester or other shirts you can get. I actually do like polyester cotton blends because the cotton still has that thickness to it. Polyester helps a little bit with the moisture wicking. So I might get a blend. I don't always care if it's 100% cotton or not, but I just want some cotton to hold in the body heat. So long sleeve shirt on top of the thin moisture wicking undershirt. And if it's not that cold and I don't want to wear a long sleeve, I will go with a gym shirt like this. It's cotton polyester blend. It's a short sleeve, so that goes over the thin moisture wicking athletic shirt. Depends, like I said, if it's really cold, I'll wear the long sleeve. If it's not that cold, I'll go with a short sleeve. That way I can take off my outer layer. I have a short sleeve shirt. If I'm really hot, short sleeve will let me air out easier and quicker than a long sleeve would. So again, it all depends on the temperature at the bottom and the top of the mountains. For the top of the mountains, it's usually pretty chilly, and I need something just to keep the chill off, to warm me up. So I've got a lot of these. They're not sweaters. They're like thin sweater material. They're kind of like the long john type shirts I wore when I was a kid, but they look fine on the outside. It doesn't look like you're wearing your underwear while you're hiking. So that's my outer layer usually. If it's kind of cold, talking 30s, 20s or whatever, with these 3 layers, I'm totally fine. But if it's really cold, then I'll bring an additional layer, another sweatshirt, usually zip up with a hood, so I can throw that over my head and capture more of the body heat, you know, because you lose a lot of body heat through your head. So I like hoodie sweatshirts that are a zip all the way down, so I can unzip it. And if I'm getting cold, just pay attention to, are you sweating too much? If you are, then take off a layer. You want to try not to sweat too much in the wintertime, but you're going to anyway eventually. So when you get to the top of a mountain you've climbed, you have sweat, always bring an extra layer of the bottom layer, the athletic moisture wicking shirt. Bring an extra one of those with you. You will be so glad you did, because when you're at the top of a mountain or the end of a trail and you're just drenched, you want to be able to quickly take off everything, put on a new undershirt, nice and dry. It feels so good. and then maybe even an extra either long sleeve shirt for the middle layer or short sleeve shirt. You don't really have to worry that much about your outer layer because the moisture doesn't usually get that far, and even if it does, you can take it off and it'll dry off pretty quick because it's just a little damp usually. It's not drenched like the middle two layers. If it's really cold climate, again, you're going to want to think about actually having some kind of down outer jacket or something. I've never had to deal with that because it's usually it's usually no less than the teens around here. So that's the winter time. Springtime is tricky because it can be a beautiful 70-degree day, or it can just plummet to 50 degrees, 52 degrees. If you start going into a valley in between the mountains, you've got shade, no sun. If there's no sun, the sun will warm you up quick in the springtime, but if you're in a shaded area, it'll drop to like 50 degrees, 52 degrees, even in the 40s. So you want to be prepared for that. Usually in the spring, on a nice day, I'll start off with thin hiking shorts. These don't let the breeze through. These are kind of windbreaker type shorts, or I'll get some that are more like hiking shorts. But these are, I don't like khaki anymore. I don't like wearing khaki. I always look for thin hiking shorts because having that breathability for your legs really helps a lot with staying cool and not sweating as much. If it is too cold, then I'll go back to the pants in the springtime if I have to. But if it's a sunny day, I'll start off with this. I might pack the pants with me just in case higher elevations. If it gets really cold, I'll throw on the pants. So I'll pack those in my backpack. Usually in the springtime, I don't bother with the moisture wicking layer. I will bring a polyester cotton t-shirt with me that I'll pack as a backup, and then I wear that as my my upper layer, my first upper layer. And if it's a little chilly, then I might put the a zip-up sweatshirt on top of it, a hoodie sweatshirt. Those two layers for me, I find in the spring are totally fine. They I can pretty much work these two to cover all different temperatures. This will get drenched. It doesn't matter if it's polyester and it's a little bit moisture wicking. Usually after a 4 or 5 mile one-way hike, when I'm at the top of a mountain or something, I'll have to change this. So I always bring 1 or 2 extras that I could change into and be nice and dry and warm on the way back down. Summertime is a different story. Summertime, it's usually it's really, really hot, and it's hot at the bottom of the mountains around here, and then usually it's kind of semi-cool or warm at the top depending on how high of a mountain you're climbing. So in the summertime, I will wear either shorts like these again, or thinner ones that are more breathable and let kind of the breeze come through, cool me off. I have actually these that I love. They're thin material, very thin material, and they kind of look like hiking shorts. So I have a couple pairs of these that I just love them because they're very breathable. They don't have the moisture in the back collecting and staying there through my entire hike. So I love any thin shorts like that in the summertime. I will probably in the summer, I'll wear a tank top because having the air all throughout here, throughout your underarms, and just having your arms free, it honestly keeps me from sweating a lot more than just a t-shirt would. So I don't care usually it's hard wearing a tank top when you're hiking for a few reasons. One of them is people look at you like, oh, here's a guy trying to show off his arms or whatever, which I find really annoying, but I don't care because I'm just doing it to stay dry and cooled off in the summer. But the other problem is too, I like to get the ones that have a little bit thicker, kind of the shoulder part is a little thicker, so the strap of my backpack goes over it, and that the this hole that goes under your arm isn't completely open way down. I can't stand those tank tops that are just all open on the side because you're going to get a lot of chafing from your backpack strap around here rubbing on your skin, and it sucks. So just don't do that. Don't hike shirtless. It's kind of stupid if you have a backpack to do that, because you're going to get a whole lot of chafing, especially once you start sweating. I've seen a lot of guys do that, and more power to them, but they're going to end up suffering afterwards. So I'll wear a tank top, and I might bring, in the summertime, I'll bring backup clothes, either backup tank top. I always have a backup t-shirt no matter what, polyester cotton t-shirt. Not so much the moisture wicking shirts, because I find in the summer they get drenched faster, like you're just sweating more. So in the summer it's all about evaporating your sweat as fast as possible. Moisture wicking shirts, they're good for when you're not sweating that fast, because they will keep a little bit of moisture away from your skin. In the summertime, you're just sweating too much and they just get drenched so fast. Next thing you know, you pretty much feel like you're walking with a wet shirt on, which really sucks. Cotton can get wet really fast, true, and it tends to absorb the sweat, but it's thicker, so it doesn't feel like you're naked and covered with sweat. You still have a little bit of warmth, and you know, having a little bit of moisture in the summertime, it just helps with your body getting rid of the heat anyway. So I find cotton polyester blend works perfect for me. Some people have different feelings about that. Some people just go with moisture wicking, which is fine. I change it up. You have to go, again, you have to go with the weather. What you want to think about is dealing with the sweat. No matter what, you're going to get wet. You're going to be, when you're hiking, you're sweating, and it's all about managing the moisture on your body depending on the temperature. So if you think about it, temperature that's hot outside, you want to use that moisture to your advantage. You can wear, that's why I wear usually one layer in the summertime, a thinner layer, because that moisture is just helping you out. It's helping you cool off. It is getting the heat out of your body faster. So there's nothing wrong with that. But in the wintertime, that's a recipe for disaster. That's going to cause hypothermia. So you want to try to keep moisture away from your body as long as you can while you're hiking, even though it's nearly impossible. That's why I do multiple layers. I will do the moisture wicking shirt with a warmer shirt on top of it, and then another warm shirt on top of that, so I can adjust the layers to help evaporate the moisture more quickly. Try to stay dry as long as you can when it's cold outside, and then bring a lot of backup shirts. So that's really the key to what you wear, what you should wear when you're hiking. Choose your layers carefully, think about moisture management, and that's pretty much it. So I've got my cat here trying to get into the scene. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's helpful for you, knowing what to wear on your next hike, what backup clothes to pack while you're getting all your stuff in your backpack, in your hiking backpack. I would appreciate your vote this week. Voting started May 1st. If you're watching this between May 1st to the end of July, I've got the link to my profile page for Muscle and Fitness 2024. Again, I'm doing this to hopefully serve as inspiration for other people out there who are over 40 and don't think that it's possible for them to get back into shape, to get in shape because of their metabolism or their lifestyle or their ailments or whatever it is. Trying to be an inspiration. I'm hoping that might serve as a good vehicle to do that, get my message out, get my story out. So if you can support me with a vote, I'd appreciate it. And next week, I'm hoping I can get a long hike in. We'll judge that, based on the weather. We'll see how the weather goes next week. Hopefully we can get a good hike in, but until then, hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I will see you next time. Please subscribe. Just take a few seconds, click the button down below. I'm trying to bring the highest quality hiking videos to YouTube, and that means I'm going to show you maps, trail highlights, all the best views on the trail, any good picnic spots, any wildlife we see, all in 4K high quality video. And we'll see you on the next hike.